What's up, people? Now I know you're not going to watch this whole video, and believe me, I wouldn't either. I just wanted to make the video because I just wanted to. Um, so here I have, right here, the the patch notes for, what do you call it, Cyberpunk 2077. Now, I'm using my webcam because I'm going to fill up the whole SD card if I use my proper camera back there. So let's just get started then, alright? Alright, patch notes for... let me show you how long the list is first. There we go. That's it. Alright, now let's go back to the top with, oh bloody hell, that's longer than I thought. Patch 1.2, list of changes. Yeah, okay. Now starting off with the gameplay. The NCPD spawn radius for when the player commits a crime has been increased. New steering sensitivity slider added to controls settings. Allows reducing steering speed for all vehicles on all input devices, particularly useful for keyboard users. Adjusted the vehicle steering code to work better in low and extreme high frame rate situations to produce more consistent results. Improves steering on base consoles noticeably. Unstuck rocking and rotating to all vehicles. Use left stick or ADWS or L shift or L control to engage rocking and rotating to stuck beached vehicles to try and free them. Minor driving model tune revisions to some vehicles to improve steering, cure excessive body roll and oversteer. Fixed an issue where aiming while under the effect of the Berserk cyberware moved the crosshair with no input from the player. Adjusted fire rate of the helicopter turret in Love-like Fire. Police vehicles will no longer immediately despawn after getting into Kerry's car during Rebel. Fixed an issue where projectile launch system had no cooldown. Bump reaction for friendly NPCs has been disabled. Fixed an issue where grappled enemies played voice lines as if the player bumped into them. Using Zetatech Sandivision MK1 cyberware now currently slows time. The hell is that? I haven't even played the game. Okay, shut up. Player can no longer cancel full damage by performing a slide action when about to fall from greater heights. It is no longer possible to perform guerrilla arms finishes against civilians. Fixed an issue where V could get pushed too far by a speeding vehicle. If V picks up a body containing a quest item, the item will now be automatically added to the inventory. Fixed an issue where a civilian running from a driving player could react incorrectly. Picking up or grappling an NPC with a burning or EMP status now transfers the status to the player. Improved jacking in interactions with forklifts. Fixed an issue where dodging right after the Kerenzikov cyberware effect ended, resulting in pushing V a great distance forward. Fixed an issue where enemies did not fall on the ground after being killed with synapse burnout. Fixed an issue where breach protocol was not working correctly against Sasquatch. Fixed an issue where preventing Placide from being taken down in stealth. Short circuit quick hacks damage over time and will no longer finish off defeated enemies. Cyber Psychos and mini-bosses are now immune to tranquilizer rounds and system reset quick hack. Fixed an issue where stacking cooldown reduction over 100% could result in blocking quick hacks. V can no longer use consumables in situations where scene context would not support it. Clothing vendors now sell items more suitable for the location. Cat food needed to adopt nibbles can now be bought at several food shops around Night City. The item for resetting perk points, Tabular Eraser, can now be bought at a reduced price. Reduced amounts of high-quality crafting components needed to craft iconic items. Fixed an issue where V could get stuck in empty buildings when exiting a vehicle parked close to a wall. Data is now correctly displayed when scanning the Militech Manticore AV. Fixed the prompt on an unavailable vehicle door that said locked. Fixed an issue where dumping a body in the trunk started the vehicle's engine. Fixed an issue where NPCs turning the steering wheel broke their upper body animations. Gorilla Arms has been increased by 20%. Reduced vehicles of Koroshi Optics fragment recipes. Reduced power of revolver-wielding NPCs. Fixed an issue where disassembling part of a stack granted the number of experience as if the entire stack has been disassembled. Disassembling grenades now properly grants common and uncommon components. Extending the sliding ladder won't result in death if they are below it. Fix several door blockers that could make NPCs stuck, preventing them from being killed. Fix an issue that caused NPCs to trip over other NPCs too often. V should now automatically unequip a charged grenade when entering safe areas. Fix an issue where pedestrians could get teleported after being hit by a vehicle. Transmigration trait is now unlockable at Breach Protocol level 20 rather than 16. Players who unlocked Transmigration pre-level 20 and did not yet reach that level will now have the trait locked and perk points for it restored. Getting knocked down by vehicles no longer kills V after unlocking the Rock perk. Fix an issue where switching the weapon in the inventory 2 times in a row could result in the weapon not being displayed in-game. Fix an issue where the completion of the Wasteland achievement could be blocked under certain circumstances. Multiple GPS improvements and fixes for the pathing in various activities and quests. Fix an issue where one of the laser trip mines in Gig Wakako's favorite would not explode upon walking over the laser. Fixed instances of NPCs not entering combat when the player approached them in reported crime. A stroke of luck. Bloody hell. Fix an access point sinking into the level geometry in Gig Greed Never Pays. Fix an issue where one of the laser trip mines in Gig Greed Never Pays could not be interacted with. Breaking a window during Gig on a tight leash, will now properly alarm nearby NPCs. A certain enemy NPC should now properly attack V in melee during Gig. Welcome to America, comrade. Fixed Cyber Psycho's behavior at the beginning of combat during Cyber Psycho sighting. That's some sibilance right there. Sibilant alliteration. Cyber Psycho sighting. House on a hill. I like that. Cyber Psycho sighting. I want to play that mission. Fixed AV collision to avoid the player getting pushed off or stuck in suspected organized crime activity. Opposites attract. Fixed tracked map markers flying off the minimap occasionally. Fixed an issue where throwing multiple grenades in quick succession could make V equip an incorrect grenade. Fixed inactive breach protocol option in suspected organized crime activity. New boss, new rules. Fixed rewards behavior while following the player in The Hunt. Okay, that one actually sounded good. Fixed an issue where enemies at the crash site in Life during wartime were not able to attack the player at range. Fixed an issue where one of the scavs would not alarm others after finding the body during the rescue. Jackie should no longer use stealth chatter just before combat in The Heist. I've played that mission, I think. That's one of the first ones. Fixed an issue where an unexploding... Hang on, can I say something about that mission? I played it during the 1.2 patch, okay? And Jackie was standing in a car. He was T-posing in a car, okay? He was like, Vendejos or something in Mexican, I don't know. Anyway, I'm taking too long. Fix an issue where an exploding mine would not alarm nearby enemies in Gig Goodnight Night City. So specific. Panam now occupies a different sniping spot during the fight with the Raffins in Ghost Town. Fix an issue where Rogue would idle after the elevator ride in Arasaka Tower during Never Fade Away. That is an amazing song, by the way. Fix an issue in The Pickup where the detonator in all foods could not be interacted with. Jackie will now empty his clip before reloading in The Rescue. The Cyber Psycho in Cyber Psycho Sighting. Yes! Cyber Psycho Sighting is back! Okay, the Cyber Psycho in Cyber Psycho... Try saying that 5 times fast. The Cyber Psycho in Cyber Psycho Sighting... Okay. The Cyber Psycho in Cyber Psycho Sightings Second Chances should now respond to the player attacking at range correctly. Corrected use of cover for friendly NPCs. Fix an issue where Panam's car could get launched into air in With a Little Help from My Friends. I love that song. I'm joking, I hate it because Ringo sung it. Fix an issue where Delamain Cab would launch into the air after leaving an afterlife in The Heist. Fix an issue where other cars in the race in The Beast in Me, Night City. What? Okay, fix an issue where other cars in the race in The Beast in Me, Night. I keep saying Night City. I've read too many Night Cities in the past. Fix an issue where other cars in the race in The Beast in Me, City Centre could get teleported under certain circumstances causing the player to drop to the last place. The car will no longer be misplaced after skipping the ride to the Piez restaurant with Joshua in Cinnamon. Alright. That was the gameplay. I think that was gameplay. Yeah, that was gameplay. Now we have quests. Alright. How long's this one? Alright, it's longer. It is so much longer. Okay. Alright, let's go. Posters in Stadium Love can no longer be destroyed before the contest, which could lead to blocked progression. They won't go when I go. Now updates properly if V leaves the studio early. Sorry, there's blue tack on my sock. Oh, whatever. Fixed inability to draw weapons at the poppy farm during the hunt. Fixed an issue where using grapple on gang members could break progression in Stadium Love. The pickup no longer gets blocked if Dum Dum dies at the exact same time as the last enemy. The pickup no longer gets blocked if the player attacks Maelstrom before entering All Foods. It's now possible to download eddies from Cracked Militech Shard if it was not used during the pickup. The penthouse from Path of Glory can no longer be accessed earlier in the game. Cyber Psycho Sighting Bloody Ritual now triggers properly, regardless of which way the player approaches the quest area. Takamura's appearance is now present in the Holocall in Life During Wartime. Fix an issue where Rogue would keep repeating the same dialogue line and never fade away. Fix an issue where V could get stuck in Rogue's booth in Ghost Town. Fix an issue where Mr. Hands would not call V after finishing Double Life. Fix an issue where Teddy, Carol, and Cassidy would repeat their movements if a player reloaded the game during the last conversation in gun music. Fix an issue where the holocall from Regina would cut off but persist on screen upon arriving at one of the Cyber Psycho sighting sites. Yes, let's go! I love Cyber Psycho sightings. Whoever came up with that is a god. Okay. Fix an issue where meeting with Panam while on a holocall with her in Ghost Town could block progression. Panam now properly says her final dialogue in All Along the Watchtower. Okay. It's no longer possible to get into Delamain in the Badlands while riding a motorcycle, which could result in crashes or getting stuck in a third-person perspective. Come on, man. Just give us a third-person option. Or are you that ashamed of how it actually looks? You could literally just look at your shadow and you can see how retarded it looks, okay? Fix an issue where it was not possible to interact with I almost skipped one! It's no longer possible to leave the quest area while inside the Basilisk in Queen of the Highway. Fix an issue where it was not possible to interact with Panam if player used fast travel during the last scene of Queen of the Highway. It's no longer possible for Frank's holocall to interrupt a conversation with the Nomads by the Basilisk in Queen of the Highway. Bob and Mitch will no longer clip through the flatbed while entering it in with a little help from my friends. Fix an issue preventing the player from receiving holocalls if they left the nomad camp immediately after delivering the flatbeds with a little help from my friends. I'm getting confused. It's no longer possible for nomads to get stranded behind the gate of the Netrunner's nest in Arasaka Tower in Belly of the Beast. Fix an issue preventing player from receiving holocalls if they left the train station during with a little help from my friends. Fix additional contexts where Jackie could be missing from in front of All Foods factory during the pickup. V can no longer leave Jinguji? Yeah. V could no longer leave Jinguji in the middle of the combat with Cyber Psycho in bullets and block the quest's progress. Calling Nancy from Totentans or escaping the club in the middle of the quest no longer blocks the progress of holding on. Finally! Doing quests a different way! Is that it? It's just leaving I don't know. Fixed an issue where music in Totentans would be missing if the player left and came back to the club. Fix an additional scenario where Dum Dum could be missing in front of the player, or in front of the Totentans entrance in Second Conflict. It will no longer be possible to see the decorations change in Denny's villa during holding on. It is no longer possible to use your guns near the arcades during the Raymond Chandler evening fistfight. I'm running out of breath, man. I'm not even halfway through. You can no longer pull an Indiana Jones in Coyote Kojo. What? What does that mean? Okay. It is now possible to open Barry's door from the inside after re-entering his apartment in Happy Together. Happy Together now instantly fails if the player breaks the law near NCPD officers. In order to complete the try talking to Barry in a few hours objective at the end of Happy Together, player now needs to leave the immediate area of Barry's apartment and come back after a few hours have passed. When Oldie Caldos move or leave Night City, all signs of their old camp will now be cleaned up. It's no longer possible to be blocked out of combat in Forward to Death while driving the Basilisk through the construction site. Fix an issue where like Supreme would not start correctly if Second Conflict's final scene was rushed. What does that mean? How do you rush a scene? Or is that just super specific? Fixed an issue where Second Conflict could get blocked if a player rushed into the elevator with Nancy and Totentans. The objective in the first brain dance in The Hunt is now more clear. Killing in the name now fails automatically if the player fails chipping in. The TV in Tom's Diner can no longer be destroyed if a player destroyed it before this update. Wait, no, before this update, they need to get their grammar sorted out, I'm just saying. Before this update, it will now be fixed and the news will be displayed correctly to progress playing for time. Fixed a rare scenario where the painting wouldn't appear in the drop pod in Space Oddity. Wait, that's a rare scenario? None of the others were, okay. None of the I mean, yeah, obviously, there was a lot of bugs, but that was the rare scenario. That seems like a very common thing, but I mean, whatever. I suppose there's a difference between being rare and being specific. It's no longer possible to get stuck in the water of the power plant after leaving the area in lightning breaks. Space Oddity no longer spawns multiple paintings blocking the quest's progress. So first there's no paintings, and now there's a hell of a lot of paintings. I see why it's rare. Fix an issue where leaving and returning after the briefing in Riders on the Storm would block the quest's progress. You know what's coming up, boys. Cyber Psycho sighting smoke on the water no longer reappears in the journal after being completed. Fix an issue where route in killing in the name would not be interactable if the player left and returned to the quest area. Automatic Love's progress will no longer get blocked by an invisible wall in Judy's workshop. Fix an issue where a like Supreme could get blocked if player rushed to the toilet to take pill before finishing a conversation with Nancy. Max Tack will now interact with V even if the Cyber Psycho was killed solo before their arrival to Jungyuji in bullets. In the pickup, it's no longer possible to trigger both scenarios at the same time, a peaceful death with Maelstrom and fighting them. Jackie will no longer get stuck in all foods if you sneak past the boss fight with Royce. Okay, what is it with Jackie and all foods? Fix an issue where it was impossible to take an elevator to Embers in Nocturne Open OP55N1 Opine? I don't know. Fix an issue where player would be stuck without the phone and weapons upon leaving the shooting range before talking to Wilson in Shoot to Thrill. Jesse should no longer disappear while getting out of the car in Burning Desire or Night Moves if the player took too long to get the Ripperdoc. Fix an issue that resulted in the player's vehicle falling under the map after colliding with a white truck in Burning Desire Night Moves. Fix an issue preventing the player from receiving holocalls if they left the monk without meditating in Imagined Stairway to Heaven, Poem of the Atoms, or I know these songs. Meetings Along the Edge. Fix an issue where the player would sometimes not receive holocalls from Delamain in Epistrophe. Destroying North Oak Delamain no longer prevents player from talking to the monk in Poem of the Atoms. Fix an issue where I thought the law could get stuck on the Talk to Jefferson objective. Fix an issue where leaving both sides now quest area could prevent the player from starting other side quests. Maiko now correctly dies when when pushed down from Mega Building H8 in Pisces or Pisces, don't know. Come on, man, you spoiled Maiko's death for me. I was excited to see Maiko. Are they a good guy? I don't know. Judy no longer follows the player around the world if they left the quest area before entering the Braindance studio in Disaster Piece. I've played that quest. That's the main quest. Fix an issue where V could get stuck in one of the dollhouse booths during Automatic Love. Fix an issue where coin-operated boy could get blocked if the player didn't talk to Brendan immediately after seeing his conversation with a girl. Fix an issue in the space in between where conversation with fingers would not start if V sneaked into his office through the window. Fix an issue where Panam's quest-related dialogue options could be missing before getting into Basilisk in Queen of the Highway. Cyberpsycho sighting Lex Talionis is now correctly marked on the map. Fix an issue where leaving the quest area too quickly before Claire reached her car in The Beast in Me would prevent the player from starting other quests. Fix an issue where the Beast in Me Santo Domingo race and a day in the life could be active at the same time, causing some problems. Fix an issue where fast-forwarding the scene with Sandra Dorset in the bathtub in the rescue would result in Trauma Team not arriving at the balcony. Added a physical reward from Regina for defeating all cyberpsychos that can be found in her office. Fix an issue where Takemura would sometimes not call back after doing the reconnaissance alone in Gimme Danger. Fix an issue where V could get stuck on the roof of Fingers Clinic. Fix an issue where no more main missions would appear after finishing playing for time. Quest icon is now correctly removed from Johnny's clothing set after breathtaking achievement has been unlocked. It is no longer possible to get locked out of the Silver Pixel Cloud Cinema in Blistering Love. Fix an issue where skipping time in Blistering Love could block the quest's progression. Rogue no longer disappears if the player took too long in the pills, or took too long to take the pills in Blistering Love. Fix an issue where Rogue would not leave the car upon arriving at the Silver Pixel Cloud Cinema in Blistering Love. Fix an issue where player would not be able to continue the main storyline after completing Search and Destroy. Fix an issue preventing the player from talking to Theo in Coin-Operated Boy. Fix an issue where every single time. Fix an issue where Cyberpsycho sighting on deaf ears wouldn't count as completed if V killed the Cyber Psycho before finishing the Holocall brief with Regina. For players who already finished the quest, it will be marked as completed. Talk to Kirk objective is now correctly marked on the map in Small Men, Big Mouth. Reloading the autosave created on the encounter at Ebunica during chipping in no longer results in replaying Johnny's dialogue. Fix an issue where Grayson could be immortal during the encounter at Ebunica in chipping in if met on the lower deck or attacked from a large distance. Fixed an issue that could prevent the player from leaving the quest area by car in chipping in. Fixed Rogue's erratic movements during Grayson's interrogation in chipping in. Fixed an issue preventing player from killing Grayson during the interrogation scene if he wasn't damaged during combat in chipping in. Bloody hell. It is now possible to talk to Mitch about the Panzer training and complete the optional objective in We Gotta Live Together. It's no longer possible to get blocked when drinking and chatting with the veterans in We Gotta Live Together. Fix an issue in the pickup where the player could trigger the combat with Royce while being outside All Foods, which blocked the quest's progression. Fix an issue that could cause the door to Lizzie's bar to become sealed if the player decided to walk away from the entrance in The Information. Fix an issue where calling Wakako from the journal during a conversation with Judy could block both conversations. Misty can no longer get killed by a stray bullet in Heroes. Fix an issue that could block progression if the player took Panam's Overwatch rifle and disassembled it before she offered it to V in Riders on the Storm. Fix an issue that could block the drive to the Wraith camp if the player abandoned the quest midway through the Riders on the Storm. Fix an issue that could block progression when performing a save load cycle while escaping the Wraith camp through the pipe in Riders on the Storm. Quest objective now properly updates the player if the player rushes through the pipe to find Saul in Riders of the Storm. It is now possible to go alone straight to the camp without waiting for Panam in Riders on the Storm. It is no longer possible to reactivate Pyramid Song by returning to the quest area and jumping into the water after it already failed. Skippy will now properly count NPCs that were killed or defeated with his help regardless of the installed mods and cyberware. Conversations with Skippy will now be adjusted to the player's actions more dynamically. It is now possible to use weapons at the entirety of Batty's hotel back parking lot. Fixed an issue that prevented the player from talking to the NPC officers at the beginning of Happy Together. Happy Together will now fail immediately if the NCPD officers spot V carrying a dead body. Fix an issue with the jacket being not available if the player loots and disassembles it before talking to Kirk in a Small Man, Big Mouth quest. Maman Brigitte will now always properly answer V's phone call in the transmission. Pluside's cell will no longer be interrupted by other calls in I Walk the Line. Fix an issue where Dum Dum could be present in Totentans during second conflict and become hostile towards V, blocking progress, even though he was killed during the pickup. Fix an issue where the guards wouldn't move away from the elevator door in Nocturne Open 1 if the player backed away while approaching it for the first time. Fix an issue that prevented the player from selecting destination after getting into the AV in the Corpo Rat. It is no longer possible to leave the basketball field near Lizzie's bar prematurely in the Corpo Rat. I was going to try that as well. I don't know why I didn't do that. Fix an issue where player could not move after losing a fight against Rhino in Beat on the Brat. Fix an issue where it was not possible to talk to Jackie after finishing the scene with Victor in the Ripper Dog. Fix an issue where Maelstromers wouldn't respawn when player used another path to reach Nancy's room instead of following Patricia in second conflict. Fix an issue where, under specific circumstances, players would become locked out of certain abilities, taking a ride with River in I Fought the Law but then abandoning the quest. Fix an issue where Nancy could appear while being escorted out from Totentowns in Second Conflict. Totentowns. It sounds like Tottenham. You know, Tottenham. Yes, I'm posh. Deal with it. Fix an issue where the elevator in Totentowns could stop on the second floor instead of the ground floor after V interacted with its panel in Second Conflict. Delamain now only calls once when V is close to a lost cab in apostrophe instead of calling each time V is in the vicinity of a lost cab. Fix an issue that could lead to equipment not getting properly removed or items getting lost inside the scavenger's apartment in Sweet Dreams. It is no longer possible to destroy the car with the mysterious conspirators inside the Prophet's song, which prevented the player from looting the chip. It is no longer possible to kill Gary. Good. We love Garys. After killing the nomads in the Prophet's song, which therefore can be completed now. The journal entry will be cleaned. They didn't add some spaces between the journal and entry wheel. Nope. Fix an issue where interacting with Misty in her shop would not be possible if the player left heroes mid-quest to pursue the Fool on the Hill. Why do they keep bringing in Beatles songs in this? There was A Day in the Life, there was Imagine, with a little help from my friends. Completing Psycho Killer now rewards the player with experience, increase the value of Liam's bribe in violence, various other quest improvements and fixes. Alright. Now it's time for the open world. I just need to take a breather and make sure that I'm recording. Oh god, I've been recording for half an hour. I'm halfway through. The little bar on the right is like halfway down. I'm running out of breath here. How long's this one? Alright, this open world is not a long one, okay. Alright. Ow. Fixing it. That was my lunch. Alright. Let's force my adrenaline through. Fix an issue where it was impossible to complete the objective for destroying flamingos if they were destroyed before the objective was active in Apostrophe Rancho Coronado. Collisions will no longer fail to stream randomly during driving, which could lead to V driving into buildings and falling out of the world. Destructibles will no longer become indestructible after loading a save. Fix an issue where some NCPD hustles were not marked as finished after looting the objective container. Fix an issue where achievements for completing district activities would... Okay, I've lost my momentum. I lost it long ago. Bloody hell. Fixed an issue where some NCPD hustles were not marked as finished after looting the objective container. Fixed an issue where achievements for completing district activities were not always unlocked. Failing gig. No fixes will no longer block the Wasteland achievement. Fix an issue where the completed NCPD hustles not always counted properly towards the jungle achievement. Fix an issue where collecting the additional reward did not end the gig properly in gig no fixes. Fix an issue where V could be unable to interact with the computer and upload the virus in gig a lack of empathy. It is no longer possible to complete some parts of the gig before getting the contract in the gig. The Frolics of Councilwoman Cole. Huangbo will no longer get stuck inside a car in gig Flight of the Cheetah, which could lead to blocked progression. Fix an issue where V sometimes could not talk to Anna Hamil in gig Woman of La Mancha. That sounds cool. La Mancha. Fix an issue where combat would not always interrupt dialogue with Anna Hamil in gig Woman of La Mancha. Fix an issue where some dialogue lines could be missing during holocalls. V will no longer be able to move after finishing Gig on a tight leash. Interaction with the van in Gig radar love will no longer disappear before returning it, which could lead to blocked progression. Looting medicines right after getting to Corporal Hare's room will no longer block progression in Gig backs against the wall. Gig for my son will no longer get blocked if Logan dies during Holocall with Muammar El Captain Rays. Fixed an issue where V could get stuck in combat in any Gig until all enemies were defeated. It is no longer possible to stop the fixer's car in the middle of the road in Gig getting warmer. ... which could lead to blocked progression. Max Jones will no longer leave his room in Gig Freedom of the Press before V comes in if V starts shooting the turrets. Guards will no longer get stuck in the elevator in Gig Fixer, Merc, Soldier, Spy. V will no longer get stuck behind the desk in the hospital lobby in Gig Cuckoo's Nest. It is no longer possible to talk to Max Jones after using Short Circuit Quick Hack on him in Gig Freedom of the Press. It is no longer possible to start combat with Anna Hamil while being in apartment 1 floor below in Gig Woman of La Mancha. Fixed an issue where the urinary stream could still be visible after NPC stopped peeing and moved away from the spot. That's the one that everyone's been making fun of. Yeah, NPCs will no longer stay blocked on traffic lanes while in fear. NPC hit by a car will now immediately run in panic now. Finally. That's what you'd normally do, isn't it? Added different animation variants for pedestrians running away from a vehicle. Fixed the issue where the arcade machines did not display any games in Pachinko Parlor in Jig Street. Added the missing animation for opening the doors in several quests. Improved force opening doors animation. Added missing unauthorized prompt for elevators protected by authorization. Various immersion improvements and fixes in the open world encounters and gigs. Did they talk about the cars driving around the player? I don't know, I haven't actually been paying attention, I've just been putting on a voice. Now it's time for some cinematic design. Look at all of these different changes. Oh my god. Oh my god. I feel like I'm revising for an exam. I feel like I'm reading my topic list for my exams. Like, I know they're not what we actually would be doing, but they're very specific, some of them. And they seem like a lot when they're actually just like 4 topics. I'm joking. We actually do have to learn stuff. Cinematic design. Progress will no longer be blocked when player chooses the Corpo line twice while talking to Hanako in the safe house during Search and Destroy. Fixed an issue that could block progression if the player reached Wakako before Takamura in Down on the Street. Takamura will no longer teleport to Wakako if the player chooses to go alone in Down on the Street. Fixed the camera issue when exiting the car at the beginning of La Caresse. What the hell was that? Caress? I saw Caress. It's Caress. I was right. And I thought it was some Spanish word. At the beginning of Last Caress. Fixed an issue that could block the player from using the ladder in the security room in Gimme Danger. Jackie will no longer disappear when entering the elevator after a peaceful deal with Maelstromers in the pickup. River Ward will no longer have a gun attached to his hand when saving V from the infected brain dance in I Fought the Law. Dum Dum will no longer walk on air when leading V to Royce in Second Conflict. River Ward will no longer where's it gone? River Ward will no longer walk through the elevator's door frame when entering it in I Fought the Law. Jackie's guns will no longer disappear when V is knocking down Royce in The Pickup. Player will no longer have a weapon equipped during the romance scene with Judy in Pyramid Song. Well, now I know what quest it's in, and that's a bit of a shame. I won't be able to see that quest because I'm playing as a male, and Judy's a lesbian, so she won't be all that into me. Anyway, Maiko will no longer walk through the couch in pieces. Pisces. That's a star sign. That's one of those star thingies. That's where I've seen that from. I thought it was like some. I was getting him confused with Plato and Socrates. Fixed an issue in New Dawn Fades that resulted in having doubled sunglasses in the ending cutscene. Fixed an issue that could block progression in Gig Hippocratic Oath when injecting the patient with synthetic blood. Fixed a subtitled issue displaying debugged text in Pyramid Song when playing in Polish. Fixed an issue in New Dawn Fades that resulted in having double guitar in the ending cutscene. Fixed a camera issue in Never Fade Away. Junkie at the Atlantis Club will no longer glitch in Never Fade Away. Fixed Corporal Hare's sliding animation in the Gig Backs Against the Wall. Unified the distance of dialogue interaction in Pyramid Song. Fixed an issue in Pyramid Song which resulted in an option to talk to Judy on the pier while V was underwater. Fixed an issue in Gig Last Login which resulted in Ripperdoc Charles smiling throughout the conversation without a reason. Judy will no longer play the animation sequence if V declines in the hut, or V declines to stay in the hut in Pyramid Song. What happens in the hut, V? Tell me. Okay. Fixed an issue that resulted in a failed objective when killing the truck driver in Cinnamon. Fixed an issue of endless walking on the treadmill in Where Is My Mind, which blocked progression. Fixed an issue with a doubled tablet in Where Is My Mind. Fixed an issue where Saul had the rifle attached to his hand after the car chase in Riders on the Storm. I know who Saul is. He's the guy that hated Jewish people. Oh no, he was Jewish and hated Christians. One or the other. And then he went blind and then he saw God and God was like, yeah, this ain't cool, man. And then he was like, then he could see again. And then he was like, my name isn't Saul anymore. My name is Paul. Paul McCartney. And then he was like, no. He was Saul. And then he was like, then he went blind. And then he saw Mother Mary. And then he was like, he was sleeping, you know. So, and then he lived on to tell the story. He was like, well, I was sleeping, you know. And me mom came to me, you know, in a dream, you know. And that's when... I'm too tired to tell this story. It's a Paul McCartney reference on how he constantly tells a story of how he wrote Let It Be, okay? His mum came to him in a dream. Ironically, she's called Mother Mary. And she was dead when he was a child, so, yeah. Fixed an issue where Panam was not holding whiskey bottle correctly while raising a toast in Riders on the Storm. Fixed missing UI dialogue elements in misleading placement of UI dialogue when talking to Panam in Riders on the Storm. Fixed a camera issue when getting out of the van in Riders on the Storm. Added depth of field effect to the player's view at significant moments. Okay, I don't know what that means. Fixed missing personal link in Life During Wartime. Fixed an issue where Hellman's personal link could be found floating in Life During Wartime. Fixed overlapping dialogue between V and Panam in Life During Wartime. Fixed an issue where in Ghost Town that caused the glass in Rogue's hand to be misplaced when playing in languages other than English. Yeah, I can't believe a Polish company is prioritizing English. They don't care about anything. They don't even care about Polish people, the Polish people. Added touchscreen animations in Panam's car in Lightning Breaks and Life During Wartime. Phone will no longer disappear from the NPC's hand in the afterlife scene of Ghost Town. Fixed NPC T-posing in the dollhouse in Automatic Love. We love T-posing, don't we? Teddy will no longer be teleported away in the scene at the abandoned railroad station in With a Little Help from My Friends. Another bit... Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You had to hear that. That is another Beatles song. Fixed an issue. I crushed me balls. You didn't have to hear that. Well, you're not watching this video anyway. It doesn't matter. I mean, you might be. I might post this on the Cyberpunk Reddit. And if it gets a lot of upvotes and you're watching this from that, then Hello. I haven't decided yet. I feel like it wouldn't go down well if I'm too shy. I should just go out there. Who cares? If I get upvotes, then whatever. I get upvotes. If I don't, then sucks to be me. No one's gonna see it. Fix an issue that could block progression when giving Panam cover during the deal with 6th Street in Ghost Town. Car lights will no longer stay on after the car battery dies in Ghost Town. Saul will no longer clip through Panam's car in Forward to Death. Fix player's camera animation in Lightning Breaks. Fix Panam's gun equipping animation in AV scene during life during wartime. Fix a visual issue with Mantis Blade after a car crash in Playing for Time. Corrected camera behavior after interacting with the drawer at the police lab in The Hunt. Players who were missing guns when the Smasher appears in Love Like Fire are now armed. A disabled turret visible while flying to Arasaka Tower in Love Like Fire works properly now. Fixed an issue that caused Roe to be misplaced while approaching Arasaka Tower in Love Like Fire. Fixed an issue that caused Spider Murphy to disappear after jumping from the helicopter in Love Like Fire. Victor will no longer teleport to the chair when the player leaves the clinic before taking a seat in the Ripperdoc. Fixed a camera issue when driving to the mega building in The Rescue. Fixed an issue when Nocturne open. Please, someone tell me how OP55N1 is supposed to be pronounced, because it looks like Open 1. I don't know, opium, I don't know. Where petting the cat would stay without dialogue. V will now properly address the cat even without Misty's answer. After boat drinks, Kerry will now hum his song while walking to his car. Fixed V's reaction to Johnny's decisions and changes. Fixed synchronization in Adam Smasher's animation in changes when playing in Polish. Now stomping should stomp as intended. What does that even... Wait, what? How does sound effects not fit? I mean, maybe it's like a scene. I mean, this is cinematic stuff, so I don't know. Like, how does that not sync? I mean, I understand dialogue, but how does footsteps not sync, or stomps, or whatever they said? I lost. Where? Okay. Fix the drone in front of the chapel in... That sounds like a city that I'm making in my tabletop RPG that I'm still designing the world of. Polished... I'm so used to saying Polish. Polished scene in Maiko's office in X Factor. I love the X Factor. They got them singers in it. With Simon Cowell and that Welsh guy. Fix an issue that could block progression when raising your hand at the wrong time during the dinner scene in Following the River. Oh, you don't want to be raising your hand at the wrong time. Oh, that's a big yikes. Oh, I lost where I was. Fix the interaction range to get in the AV in the Corpo Rat. Fix missing NPC being thrown away from the toilet during a cool metal fire sequence. Added missing scene to the Japanese version of a cool metal fire sequence. It's no longer possible to drive away without Johnny when picking up the Porsche for the first time during chipping in, leave no Johnny behind. In Talking About a Revolution... No, that's not a Beatles song. No, the Beatles one goes like, they say they want a revolution, or it's, you say you want a revolution. I can't remember. Okay. In Talking About a Revolution, depth of field now resets after leaving Judy's apartment. Field of view now goes back to its set value when V sits up to talk to Johnny after watching brain dances in Double Life. I can just imagine what that looks like, what that used to look like. Fixed facial animations in the scenes where V leans on the mirrors throughout the game. Good, I think. Initial dialogue with Takemura in Down on the Street can now be interrupted and restored. Fix an issue where Johnny could be unable to connect to the access point in Love Like Fire. Fix lack of interaction with Mitch after skipping dialogue in We Gotta Live Together. V no longer gets stuck in a sitting position after connecting to Panam's car in Life During Wartime. Fix an issue that prevented player from controlling the turret and could block progression in Love Like Fire. Added missing family photo during the scene with Hanako in Play It Safe. Fix an issue... Oh, I'm going too far down. I don't think you can see that. I've probably done that loads of times. Fix an issue that prevented player from controlling the turret. I've read that one. No. Added missing family photo during the scene with Hanako. I've already read that one as well. Fix an issue with Detective Hand's cigarette in I Fought the Law. Characters no longer teleport near the player while in a holocall dialogue. I've seen that a couple times on the subreddit. Fix multiple issues with V wearing the wrong clothes in third-person perspective. Fix multiple issues during sex... I said the bad word. I said the bad word, guys. Wait, what are you going to do about it? You know what? I'm going to say it again because I have to. Fix multiple issues during scenes. Improve... Oh, hang on. What were the issues? Is it just really awkward because it's in first person? I'd assume so. Like, they could just have cinematics, okay? I feel like making cinematic scenes is much easier than first person scenes. Dunno. Improved interruption system for scenes. Fix an issue where the stalker wouldn't arrive at the bridge in Every Breath You Take. Fix an issue where Judy would stand up from the chair in the scene between brain dances in Double Life. Fix multiple issues with important quest NPCs randomly missing animations during cinematics. Interrupting dialogue will now stop the voiceover line. Fix multiple issues with NPCs mounting vehicles. Fix Jackie's pose and grip on the motorcycle's handlebar in the pickup. And that is it for the cinematic changes, whatever it's called. Now it's time for environment and levels. These last ones are only short ones, except for the UI. That sounds like it looks like a pretty long one. Okay. What is it? Not graphics and audio animation. Environment and levels. The objective will no longer get stuck on neutralize the attackers in Dream On. V will no longer get stuck inside an AV flying off if standing on pipes during suspected organized crime activity. Opposites attract. Fix an issue where 2 fast travel points were missing map pins. Ooh. Fix multiple issues related to improper NPC behavior in combat, for example, not changing to the correct attack mode or getting stuck in a location. Fix multiple issues related to NPCs not reacting to V's presence or not entering combat properly. Fix multiple issues related to NPCs clipping with objects. Fix a number of issues related to wrong or missing contents of lootable items. Fix multiple issues related to V not being able to interact with lootable items. Fix multiple issues related to improper functioning of devices, such as cameras, turrets, or mines. Fix an issue where Basilisk could fall under the map when the door leading to Mikoshi is reached. Fix an issue where Lieutenant, I'm British, and for some reason we pronounce something that is Lieutenant or something like that. we don't say lieutenant, we say lieutenant, I think, or Luf, I don't know. That's how Corporal Kochi, one of the corporals, and PIK, and Lance Corporal Moore, and Lance Corporal Bibby. Lance Corporal Bibby was an absolute G. Kochi, though, on the other hand, he made us make out with a doll on the floor. Actually, that was Moore. But Moore's weird. It's weird. I haven't seen my fellow army cadets since I left. Whatever. Fix an issue where Lieutenant Moa has had a high chance to die in collisions, blocking the Cyber Psycho hunt. Oh, I haven't heard anything about Cyber Psycho sightings. Where's that gone? Fix an issue where it was very difficult to access the computer in the back of the gas station in Life during wartime. Fix the misspelled leaving Night City sign. I want to see what that is. I'll look at it after this. Fix the glitch scaffolding in Haywood Vista Del Rey. Fixed multiple issues where players could fall out of the map due to gaps and missing collisions. Fixed multiple issues where players... Oh, you're not even seeing this. Fixed multiple issues where where players could get stuck in location geometry. Fixed multiple issues where players could reach unintended areas, potentially blocking quest progression. Fix multiple issues with disappearing or misplaced assets. Fix multiple issues with assets floating in the air. Fix multiple issues with assets appearing or changing appearance on site. Fix some issues with parts of assets missing, allowing the player to see the inside. Yeah, we don't want to see what's inside this game. They really don't want us to see. Fix issues where rain could be present in covered areas. Fix issues with invisible colliders present on locations. Fix multiple issues with high resolution textures failing to stream in. And there we go, that's the environments and levels all done. Now it's time for graphics, audio and animation, which is only short. Alright. Fix NPCs moving after being killed. For crying out loud, man. Just set it to ragdoll. A ragdoll. How was that not a thing? Did they have an... I mean, I understand having an animation for falling over, maybe. But... Use a ragdoll. Improvements in textures rendering from afar. Fixed a visual issue with fast travel and cinematic transition. Adjusted visual quality of some elements when underwater. You're not going to give us water physics though, are you? Improvements in materials, details, quality. Fixed V's incorrect position while riding a motorcycle. Improvement for interior and exterior light sources. Adjusted dirt quality on medium and low settings. Fixed the lack of crack in the mirror after V smashed it. Yeah, that happened to me once, a couple times. Fixed an issue where pink particles could appear on camera close-up. Improved foliage destruction vehicles. Fixed a visual issue where pavements could be covered with rectangular shapes in short areas. Fixed the overexposed foliage elements visible when entering a vehicle. Fixed an issue where some items could disappear after being destroyed. Kerry's bathrobe is no longer incorrectly attached to his lower part of the body. V's hands are now correctly displayed on a steering wheel while driving. V now leans out of a vehicle correctly during chases. What chases, might I ask? And I'm just going to check how much. Hang on. Oh, yeah, okay. Fix an issue where the character could appear deformed while mounting motorcycles. Okay. Fix a level of detail occurring for Joy Toys in Jig Jig Street. I can't get to Jig Jig Street because it's not in Watson. Not Watson. Whatever the starting area is. And I don't want to play it because I want to play it when all the DLC... all the mini expansions and paid DLC is out. That's if the paid DLC is worth it. If I'm paying, I'll talk about this in another video. Probably not. Fix several issues with missing lip sync. Fix multiple issues with NPCs T-posing. Camera no longer flips when V is under an object and jumps. Improved camera movement when entering a vehicle. Fix an issue where some items could be attached to NPCs twice. Fixed NPCs shouting after being killed. Jackie no longer shouts "nice shot" when V kills enemies while in stealth mode. I just want to see that happen. I want to see a lot of these happen. Fixed particle burning effect applied repeatedly when player stands in fire. Why am I saying I want to see all these happen when I could literally just download it off the disc? Fix NPC animation issues after skipping the ride. Fix flickering of stars on the surface of the lake in one of the scenes. Fix faraway terrain disappearing in the Badlands. Other city parts visible from the distance now look more realistic due to adjusted lighting. Fix an issue with black weapon scopes during the chase in Riders on the Storm. Improved visual quality of Blackwall and Mikoshi. Fix an issue where the weather state would not adjust correctly after loading saves or exiting the main menu. Holographic elements in specific character outfits now display correctly. Fix an unwanted jitter effect on frosted glass surfaces. Fix an issue where a white line could be visible at the top of the screen when in cyberspace. Alright, that was the graphics, audios, and interfaces, something like that, animation. Now it's time for the user interfaces, UI. This is not a short one, obviously, so I'm just going to take a little breather. Genuinely almost passed out. But I will persevere for you lads. Fix an issue with ads not being properly displayed on curbs. Fix multiple visual updates and adjustments for ads. Fix multiple visual issues in quest briefings. Updated the Arabic language layout in quest briefings. Updated grenades. Updated grenades icons according to their damage type. Fixed multiple visual issues with the icons display. Fixed multiple issues in the UI panels, including journal, map, scanner, and others. Fixed an issue that paused the game if the shard was read directly from the loot container in a minor activity. Fixed freezes and crashes related to equipping and unequipping Johnny's jacket. Added button hints in order to move... Added button hints in order... I'm just going to say it how I'm reading it. Added button hints in order to move forward on the treadmill in Where Is My Mind. Fix an issue where database links would not allow jumping to a selected entry. Fix an issue that blocked a player from answering holocalls manually. Entering a vehicle right before opening the vehicle menu should no longer block further progression. Health bar should now be visible during car chases. Obviously. I didn't know how close I was to dying in that first thing. That scripted car chase. I wasn't shooting, by the way. And I was just like, yeah, I can't be asked. This is just a cutscene, but I'm getting damage. Okay, they're not going to kill me. Performance improvement to the inventory panel. Fix an issue where the NPCs could be tagged as a minimal threat, regardless of their actual level. Fix multiple issues with button hints. Fix multiple issues in the character creation panel. Multiple fixes and improvements to the crafting panel. Fixed issues where the level requirement was not displayed correctly in the upgrade menu. Added an option to craft multiple items at once. Fixed an issue where preview stats show the same values before upgrading an item. Added a crafted icon to the tooltip of crafted items. Fixed multiple issues related to the cyberware panel. Multiple adjustments for the D-pad input. Fixed multiple issues related to HUD elements. Multiple fixes in the inventory and backpack panels. Fix an issue where when weapons could show 0 damage per second before looting them. What weapon does that? A dildo does better. Fix an improper icon of the clothing item when looting a body in Gig Serial Suicide. That's a weird name. Multiple fixes and adjustments to the main menu and settings panels. Fix an issue where replacing mods on some legendary items could add an empty mod slot. Added a disabled state to mod slots when there are no available mods to equip. Optimizations for crafting panels and items display. Fixed an overlapping tooltip of body attribute in the character menu. Visual effect for adding attribute points in the character menu should no longer be missing after hovering over perks tree. Multiple fixes for scanning functionality and its HUD display. Added a toggle to enable or disable comparing tooltip. Multiple fixes related to buyback pricing and performance improvement in the vendor panel. Fix an issue where the game could freeze during Ghost Town if a player chose to wait until Rogue is ready, right after asking Claire for a drink. Fix an issue where a player could die right before the scene transition in Play It Safe, resulting in blocked progression. Fixed an issue where weapon crosshair did not disappear after aiming down or unequipping it. Fixed an issue where debug text could appear after skipping and fast forwarding credits. Updated the credits list. Fixed an issue where adds text localization upon scanning did not work properly. Fixed an issue where highlighted dialogue lines when talking to Johnny could not be visible after visiting Hanako and taking the elevator down in Nocturne Open 1. Tell me how it's pronounced. Fixed an issue where restoring defaults could set all settings to low on second and consecutive launches. Fixed corrupted characters in different languages. Multiple fixes and adjustments for input issues. Various UI performance and stability improvements. Epic and legendary loot dropping from defeated enemies are now better visible on the map. On the minimap, sorry. Threat level for undiscovered gigs is now displayed correctly. Fixed issues with the D-pad arrows navigation in the menu and inventory. Removed unnecessary health bar animations after loading a save. Fixed item tooltips remaining on screen after closing them. Fixed an issue where the value per unit would be displayed instead of a total value in case of items with quantity larger than 1. Fixed issues related to changing gameplay difficulty settings in the menu. My rewards pop up in the main menu is now hidden when streamer mode is enabled. Fixed issue is broken with build. Fixed issue broken. I'm so out of it right now. Fixed issue with broken buildings visible on the main map. Added overhead text size option to the subtitle settings. Fixed multiple text related issues. Fixed multiple issues related to UI streaming. And that was the UI section. Now we've got the we've kind of got the last section here, which has subsections. The stability and performance section. This section discusses changes that enter all the platforms, but many of them make a bigger difference on last generation consoles and lower performing machines. Yeah, that was a big yikes. But this is a general thing. Improve stability and performance of the engine and the rendering engine, reducing the number of random crashes. Memory optimizations and memory management improvements in various systems, reducing the number of crashes. Again. Various optimizations and improvements in in shadows, shaders, physics, workspot system, spawn system, scene system, animation system, occlusion system, and facial animation system. Fixed mechanism for managing UI icons, atlases memory, which helps with memory-related crashes, especially during long playthroughs. Multiple UI stability improvements and fixes for the most common UI-related crashes. Various crash fixes, among others, in settings menu and upon reloading saves repeatedly during gameplay and GPU-related. Multiple UI performance upgrades. Fixed a UI performance drop during controller button mashing, causing V to receive multiple copies of the same item. Fixed detection map up. Mother. Did I just say mother? In American? Yes, I did. That was intentional. For no reason. Fixed a performance drop during I've already read that one. Fixed detection map markers sometimes appearing broken or glitchy on machines with slower hard drives. Various other stability and performance improvements. And now it's onto the miscellaneous ones. Wait, then what was that? Okay. Fix incorrect censorship when playing a copy of the game from a region other than Japan when the console region is set to Japan or language to Japanese. A settings option to hide potential enemy markers was added to the interface tab. A settings option to hide NPC name overhead display was added to the interface tab. Telemetry consent is now saved in the user profile and synced via the cloud. Logic for loading last checkpoint when there is no existing save file improved. Again, no space between the save file. Okay. Fixed game going back to a black screen after difficulty is changed in the pause menu. Pause with a capital P for some reason. Improved D-pad arrow navigation in menus. Navigation in load save menu improved. Fixed fists description in the quick weapon selection menu. Fixed an issue where the player could get locked in an aiming or crouching state after leaving a vehicle. Fix an issue where jumping or carrying a body to the point of no return area could lead to point of no return save not being created. Added fade in on returning to the game after final credits. The 1 more gig message will no longer be displayed when the game ends, and there is no point of return save, or there is no point of no return save. What is point of no return? Does that mean like you've completed the game? Is that like in Breath of the Wild when you've got like a little star after you've like defeated Ganon? But is it one of those games where you defeat the final boss, and when you go through the credits, it takes you back to your save point before that? Oh, I hate that. Like, I hate it when that happens. I like, just didn't like it because it's like I've saved. What if I've saved right before the boss? Okay, the only thing I can do is defeat the boss, and then it's just the main quest that's just there. I like seeing no main quest. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Fix an issue that could cause money transfer notification to appear as 0 if the player performed a save load cycle right before it showed. Fix an issue where NPCs were missing their weapons after loading a save. Fix an issue where engaging in combat in front of Misty's Esoterica could cause a nearby animal's bouncer to follow B in combat state to Victor's clinic in the Ripperdoc. Fix an issue where Monk's walk could reset if the monk stepped on a defeated Maelstrom corpse in Losing My Religion. What? How specific do you need to be? Misty will now walk correctly down the stairs on the way to El Coyote. I'm so out of it. That has come up before, and I pronounced that wrong. Misty will now walk correctly down the stairs on the way to El Coyote Kojo Bar in Heroes. Telemetry consent request reappears once for some players due to an issue causing a reset of settings. Alright, now for PC specific. Enabled ray tracing on AMD graphics cards. Latest GPU drivers are required. Keyboard bindings, more keys are now available for rebinding. Keyboard bindings, it is now possible to bind opening and closing specific panels to the same key. Keyboard bindings, it is now possible to unbind dodge from the movement keys in settings controls. Dodging can still be performed by double tapping the crouch toggle action key default C. It is now possible to enter journal from the map using a keyboard. Map panel, sorry. Achievements will now work on the Epic Games Store. Modding added a new mod folder for loading modded archives. The modded archives can be named in any way and go into the mod folder now. Having mod archives in the patch folder is no longer supported. Fix an issue that prevented grenades from being charged after closing a dialog window using ESC. Fix an issue where some environment elements would not be displayed correctly on 8K screens. Who the hell has an 8K screen? Fix an issue where HUD elements would be missing in 8K resolution. Who has 8K? Fix an issue where perks from a certain area of the sub-menus were not displaying descriptions on 4K and 5K. I've never heard of 5K before. Ultra-wide resolutions. 8K, come on. 8K cameras are what they use in the IMAX. Console specific. Fix an issue on PlayStation 4, which has been delisted, where items couldn't be dropped from the backpack as they would always reappear back in the inventory. Fix an issue where Johnny's custom HUD wouldn't be present on Xbox One during the concert scene in Love Like Fire. Fix an issue that caused the game to zoom in when pressing pause on PlayStation 4 Pro and Xbox One X. Fix the streaming issue with the elevator panel in Play It Safe on Xbox One. Improve the mechanism for adjusting the UI texture resolution depending on the platform. Fix an issue that could cause the game to become unresponsive when pressing A immediately after deleting a save on Xbox One. Fix an issue on Xbox One that could cause the game to become unresponsive when changing profiles on the title menu. Fix an issue where loading a game save while being in a car could turn the screen black on Xbox. Fix Various memory handling optimizations on Xbox. Improved screen space reflections. Fixed issues with screen space reflections and temporal anti-aliasing. Aliasing? Tell me how you pronounce that. I say aliasing. Fixed rendering issues when fog interacts with nearby lighting on PlayStation 4. Various environment streaming and input-output improvements. Various NPCs and vehicle streaming improvements. Fixed multiple issues with random game freezes. Gene? I've had too many biology lessons recently. Fixed issues on PlayStation 4 whereby corpses with head dismembered could glitch out. Fixed an issue where V could fall down the elevator shaft. Do you have any context for that? Is that like a quest specific? Fixed an issue where the game on Xbox One would become unresponsive when signing out while the controller disconnection message is visible. Fixed an issue that causes the player to be unable to exit the settings menu after making changes. Claire's truck is now properly placed in the garage in The Beast in Me. Fix the missing water surface shader on PlayStation 4. Oh, and the most important console of all time, Stadia specific. Improved stability throughout the title. Fixed the missing sound effects in crafting menus. Re-implemented a missing prompt for taking a screenshot in I Don't Want to Hear It. Fixed several graphical improvements with lighting and cascade shadows. And implemented missing numeric key prompts for AZERTY keyboards? What the hell is that? But that is it. And many more. Many more. Alright. That's it. An hour and 16 minutes I've been recording for. If you have watched this video, which I'm guessing you haven't, but if you have, honestly, thank you. Even if you haven't watched it and you've just skipped to the end, I don't care. Thank you for even coming here in the first place. The camera quality isn't always like this. If you're new here, I usually have a camera right there, which records up to 1080p. It's not. The lighting's just really low, so but if I brought down the blinds, so if I open these up, it just makes it super bright, and it just doesn't work like that. So I have to take it down whenever I'm using my webcam. I actually look better. I could have left it like this. Whatever. Anyway, lads and ladettes, that has been me, Compact Prism. Thank you for watching, and I don't know what to say anymore. I don't think I can say anything else. Subscribe, like, I don't know. Bye. Yeah, bye.
Shiny sky.